Hello, Mildred, Jill, Mawish, Liz, Atasha, Gina, Nicole, Mary, Brandy, Nancy, Elizabeth, Lauren, Nicole, and Heather. Here we are, the end of week 6, the end of the course. I just want to say thank you to all of you for all of your contributions in the forums, for your excellent work on the assignments, the papers, for your candidness, for your honesty, for your willingness to share some of your stories. Heather and Liz, really appreciate your willingness to share a piece of your life to help us all see how the experience guide leadership type is lived out. And thank you to everybody really for all that you contributed to the class. I think it was a great class, some good discussion, some good back and forth. And I just want to say a few things in summary as we end our time together. So the last few weeks we've been looking at some ethical dilemmas, some case studies, and in each of these stories we've had people who have been apparently acting very unethically. Think back to our friend Kevin in the real estate office. We looked at what Kevin was doing, and a lot of us said, well, hey, he was told to tone it down with letting people use the phone and use the copier. He was told to not do that too much because the company is not doing well financially, and he just continued to let people do it. So he's insubordinate. He's careless with clients' information because, who knows if some confidential loan information or other information was left on the copier or is left around the office, and people are coming in and using things, they might see information that's confidential. So Kevin is really not a good person. He's disregarded the owner's wishes and is careless with clients' confidential information. The case of John and Sue. Sue and you work at a technology company together. Sue has access to confidential and proprietary information, and her new boyfriend, John, is starting his own technology company, and Sue comes to you and says, hey, John is trying to start up a company, and I have access to information that I think would be helpful to him. Do you think there's any problem with me sharing some of this proprietary information with John so that he could, get a leg up as he starts his company? And we thought, John, not a good guy. Why would he put Sue in this situation? Why would he ask her for proprietary or confidential information and put her in that position to ask her to do something that's clearly unethical? And is he just manipulating her? Is he going to leave her as soon as he gets the information and he can go and build his company? And we said, well, what's wrong with Sue? Why can't she see that this is wrong? She's not loyal to the company that she's working for. Does she have some self-esteem issues that she thinks that a good way to build up a relationship is by taking information from her company and sharing it unethically? Or the case of Karen, Sylvia, and Dean. In this case, Karen clearly seems to be a very nasty person. It looks like she is racist because Sylvia is the only African American working at the company, and it looks like she's homophobic because Dean is the only openly gay male, and these are the two people that she wants to fire. She's asked you to get logs on these two people so that she can let them go, that she's never liked them. It's pretty hard to, that looks really bad. That looks really bad. And the case this week, the congressman and our brother-in-law, John. The congressman says to John, hey, there's a lot of talk around here about me being involved in voter suppression, but, there's nothing wrong going on here that's wrong. Nothing illegal. There's nothing illegal. Could you come and testify that everything is fine? There are no problems. And if you do, I will give you this amazing job. lifetime appointment, lots of money. You can help your family in numerous ways. All the kids in your family will get a good education, get their college paid for. You'll be able to live in a great place. Those medical bills that you're worried about, not a problem, taken care of. All you have to do is go and testify that there are no problems in our county. Again, that sounds pretty sleazy. Why would the congressman be offering John this incredible job if the congressman didn't have something to hide? It seems like he's asking John to go and lie to Congress when he testifies. That would be a big problem. Immoral, illegal. So we have all these cases where it really looks like somebody is doing something very, very wrong. I think the thing that links them all is something called the fundamental attribution error. The fundamental attribution error is our human tendency to look at a person who seems to be doing who appears to be doing something wrong and assume that they are doing something wrong because they are a bad person, that they are doing something wrong because they have a bad character, because they have a bad disposition, because that's who they are. On the other hand, when we ourselves end up doing something that's less than praiseworthy, we tend to say that there are extenuating circumstances, that there are reasons that we had to do something wrong, and it's not because we are bad people. For example, someone is speeding down the highway, zips in the entrance ramp, swings across 3 lanes of traffic, and zips off toward the city. And you look at that person, you say, what an idiot. How could someone possibly be so careless and put so many people's lives in danger by driving like that? On the other hand, when we speed, we have good reasons. I mean, sometimes it's a really good reason. I'm speeding to the emergency room with my kid who cut his head on the fence and he needs to get to the ER. Or less dramatically, I have a really important meeting that I need to get to. And if I don't get to this meeting on time, I'm going to look bad in front of my boss. I could even get fired. Can't afford that. I needed to speed to get to the meeting. When we look at other people, their bad things tend to be because they're bad people. But aren't they the same as us and influenced by the same kinds of circumstances and the same kinds of thinking that they may be justified in what they're doing? Kevin. So is it that Kevin is insubordinate? Is it that he doesn't care what the owner says? Is it that he doesn't care about the client's confidentiality? Or is it that in Kevin's mind, he wasn't directly told, stop this? If you read the case, he's not told, never let anybody use the phone or the copier again. He's told, cut down on that. We're kind of in a financial tight spot, cut down. In his mind, perhaps, Kevin sees this as an opportunity to build up reputation in the community, and these people that come in, they say a lot of good things about the company, they refer clients. The marginal cost of the copies and the practically no cost of people making local phone calls far outweighed by the goodwill produced. That's what's going on in his mind. Is that possible? Is that a possible explanation? Maybe. We don't know. But it might be worth exploring. John and Sue. Suppose that John is starting a technology company that is very, very different from the one that you and Sue work for. Completely different product. There's not going to be any direct competition. There's not going to be any clients stolen from the company that you and Sue work for. But Sue has some information, access to information in a structured and organized way that, yeah, maybe most of it he could find online, but Sue has it all together, and she has some stuff that's proprietary, and it would help John to see how a technology company runs, get some insight into the industry, how things are done. No direct competition, no stolen clients, no stolen technology, but information that would be helpful to him. Is that possible? I don't know. It could be, but that would not look quite as bad as the way that we painted the picture in the forums. Even Karen, Sylvia, and Dean. Now, in this case, Karen is asking for something unethical. Even if Karen is not prejudiced, even if she's not prejudiced against African Americans, even if she's not prejudiced against gay men, she's still asking for something unethical. She's still asking for 2 people to get fired because she doesn't like them. And that's a problem. The question is Karen as evil as she seems to be? Or is there something else going on? In the discussion forum, I said, no, suppose that, Sylvia and Dean were hired at the same time. They're both, very extroverted, happy people. They joke around together a lot. And Karen is a very serious person. Sylvia and Dean still make their numbers. They're still very good with customers. They still do a good job, but she just doesn't like the frivolity in the office. She just thinks it's bad. She just thinks it's wrong. And so she wants to get rid of Sylvia and Dean. I realize that sounds a little bit far-fetched, but is it possible? Maybe. Could we talk to Karen? Could we see what's going on? And even the congressman and John. Again, this doesn't look good. It looks very, very sleazy. But is it possible that John really doesn't see anything bad happening in his county? Because we're told there's nothing that's illegal. And is John living in the place where if it's not illegal, what's the problem? But perhaps if we approach John with that perspective, not that John is a terrible person who's willing to sell out people's voting rights in order to make life comfortable for him and his family, but that maybe he just needs to see, even though it's not illegal, what the congressman is doing is still destructive. People are not being able to vote, and that's a huge loss. That's serious oppression, and perhaps John could be made to see that. Could we look at it that way? Maybe. Is that what's going on? Maybe. I'm not saying that the world is always the best case scenario, but the world is not always the worst case scenario either. And I guess what I'm saying is think of other possibilities. As ethical leaders, I really think that one of the things that we're called to do, that we're invited to do, is to help others move into living more ethical lives, to have those hard conversations, to spot those things that seem just not right, to sometimes really confront the things that are terrible, that are 100% wrong, that are clearly unjust, and to confront those things and to speak up for those things and to use our voices to help empower and support other people. Absolutely. But I think as ethical leaders, we do have that space with a lot of the people that we work with where we could invite them into conversation and I hope help them to see things from a more ethical point of view, to really promote fairness, justice, equality, the things that make our lives in our society better all the way around. So again, I just want to say thank you to all of you. This was a great class. I really appreciate, again, your candor, your engagement. And if there is any way that I can be helpful to any of you in the future, if you're planning on graduate school and you need a recommendation, or there's anything else that I could do or say to be helpful to you as you continue your education and your careers, please reach out to me. And again, thank you.